grab, and this is what you see traditionally. And you have to understand, why do you see a lot of those traditionally? Well, because they were going to draw their sword, right? So if I'm reaching across, then he would grab this, you know. But unless we're reaching for something, our hands are probably where? So you're more likely in today's society to get what we call underside wrist grabs.
Right.
Okay, and this has happened to me several times actually. In a tournament at the USNKF Nationals. I don't know, the guy just maybe got tired of getting hit in the face, and I went to punch him, and he grabbed me like that, and you know, I've been training this stuff. I went over, bah, locked him, elbowed him in the head, and of course I got disqualified.
Warning.
That was
For him.
That was my last tournament, because I went, okay, all right, I got to make a decision. Do I want to do sport? I want to do combative.
Right.
So I said, well, Tommy Hood's out there. He's my dojo brother. He's a national champion. Let him get all the medals, and I'll do the other stuff. And now we do seminars together where we do the same technique, but he says, here's the sport aspect, and I go, here's the combative aspect. So it's kind of interesting. But now the idea, I want to work this concept, and we're already right here. So very simple, just to utilize one of the movements. So I'm going to circle. Remember I said, remember the hand position?
Right.
And that's what I want to emphasize. When we had our hand here and we did what? We turned the thumb over. And there's the Kotegaeshi. So now watch.
Right.
Same movement. So you should already have this from what we just did, right? It's already trained your body to put your hand in the right spot. As well as, what else did we do? Is I did this circle. Well, here's what? The same circle. So when I was working this side, I went. So now you're already thinking about the down block circle, so to speak, into the, see, all the components were already right there. You just did it in the series. People go, why do you do the series the way you do it? Because that's the way it's done now. Because it teaches you a lot about how we end up using movements, the same movements for the applications. So you're already learning the proper way of motion. So. Also, watch my foot. I open. Okay. Because I can just simply, what, here. I want to just release and go in. Still come back and get my lock, right? So I can make this long or short. But here's, then watch the foot again. See the body action? If he's strong and I just try to use my arm, but when I use my whole body, see the difference? That's right. It also closes him off for a moment, so when he tries to use that other hand, mine's already here first. Okay, now I can come back and I make distance, right?
Right.
So when I pivot, I'm actually further away. I can still hit him, but he has to really turn to hit me. Okay?
Pretty some risk.
Yeah. I'm blocked or hit before he gets there. Reality, this is happening very quickly, so he's already what? On the mat. Okay. Especially if I add a low line to this. Now, I'm right here. Separate, take the shoulder out. So he comes here. We'll add the kick in a moment. You all right? This not too bad? Good. Okay, I'm trying to go slow and easy. If all else fails, boom. Right? So that's the thing. I already have something kind of, that a punch comes out, I'm already ready to go. And I can turn it into a finger lock. So always have variations. But here's the base technique I want you to focus on for the moment before I get too crazy. So go one, release, get strong in your grip. So just flip it out, little white crane action. So I go 1, 2, drop. If you want, turn it into a finger lock. You'll want to turn it back over because of the pain. All right. So one more time. Open, impact if you want. So that's why I said I can cover, I can hit, or I can just simply go right to the lock. Okay. If it fails, I go someplace else, right? I don't really care. But here's the first one I want you to start with.
Right.
See the footwork, roll, little trick. See how this elbow is? he's pretty flexible and he thinks about punching. What I want to do is drive that elbow to his hip.
Opposite hip,
Yeah,
right?
it drives him out,
Right.
and it makes his shoulder want to turn. So he basically turns him over. Whoa! So when I shoot in, it'll set that.
Oh.
And I'll come in on him.
Right.
Exactly, because as he turns, you can go, or you just come in and clip him as he's rolling down. Otherwise, I just turn it in, drop it this way. Now, remember this block we did? Same thing. I went in here. Also, you can do the same block we did standing on the ground. Doesn't really matter. Everybody got it?
Hi, sir.
Just, you okay? Not too bad? Just make sure that you're, how to say, being sensitive to how flexible or non-flexible they are, okay? So there's no reason I can do this in practice without hurting anybody. See what I mean? And he's responding to the tone. See what I mean? It didn't have to be pain, did it? It was just, he felt it contract, and he went, okay, it's starting to get close to pain, I'm going to fall down.
Because then that also helped the uke learn to recognize.
Most definitely, because you don't want to wait. If you're trying to get out of something, the fall is really to protect yourself. You don't want to wait until it's too painful, right? It's too late. So when people are trying to do wrist locks here, do the wrist lock to me. So when he's here, go just put the kotegaeshi on. When I feel, go ahead, start to put it on. When I start to feel the tone of it, I'm already what?
Changing.
Right, and actually, if you notice, number 3 is the counter for number 2. See, he does number 2. Watch, I do. How did I go to number 3? When I was doing it to him, I went. It's already built into the series. If you look, they almost all counter each other. That's one reason it's built the way it is. You go, man.
Well, what's usually the question you get when you're teaching somebody? How do you get out of that?
That's
like,
right.
Well, that's the next
so I go,
lesson.
I go, it's already there. Don't bother me with that now. But I'm sensitive to now when I feel that pressure that I go, well, if it's here, it's almost too late. I have to go another way. Okay. But if it's early and I'm sensitive to it, I can what? I can do this counter. If it's already too late, see, I have to now what? See, I open. So I have to understand at what point I am in the lock. And by going slow with each other and complying to some extent, don't do this and they fall down, right? You want to feel a little tone.
Right.
So it's important. It's not about hurting each other right now. Okay? He's my partner. I want to take care of it. So when he starts to feel the tension, he wants to, because he's recognizing where his body is at that point in time, which would determine where he can possibly counter. And that's what every technique I do, especially any type of locking or groundwork, right? Where am I in that position of the ground? Where's his body? Where's the pressure? Do I have enough time? Can I slip this way? Do I slip that way? The same thing here. So do it slowly, throughout, and get a feeling for it before you start trying to blast each other. Wrists are so easy to, as he knows, right? It doesn't take much, and then it's done. So go easy with each other because we have another almost 2.5 hours, 3 hours to do this, and I'll try to set his wrist.
Time to hurt.
Feels like it's a little bit out.
Techniques.
Give it a shot.